What's up guys, Junior here. So we've been bringing you the history of the popular wheel brands we've got, the history of popular suspension brands, and now we're bringing you guys the history of some of the top tire brands in the industry. You've heard of them, you recognize their tread patterns. Today, we're talking about the little brother of Toyo Tire, Nitto Tire, or Nitto Tire, if you're Florida Georgia line.
Up on them 37 Nittos with those tinted Hadacito.
Nitto Tire was founded in 1949. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Nitto Tire was founded in 1949. While a branch of Toyo Tire and Rubber Co., Nitto was always the unique little brother in the tire industry. Originally founded in Japan as an independent tire maker, Nitto mainly just exported their tires. What exactly did they export? Mainly it was just bias ply truck tires and some car wheels. By the 1960s, Nitto was sending tires all over the world and mainly to the United States and the Middle East. Their brand faced continuous hardships, competition, and the American dream of all things that every business does not want to have happen. Bankruptcy.
Jesus Christ.
The story with Nitto is as they expanded, it became harder and harder for them to even break a profit. The company grew in the US market and even had their own sales operation in California.
Let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness.
The problem was their parent company in Japan wasn't having a good time. I mean, it may have been fun if you enjoy battling for every earning. I don't know your life. Hope didn't increase much for Nitto, even with Toyo Tire and Rubber Co. acquiring them in 1979 and into the 1990s. The company itself had a product, but it didn't have an image or a target market. So how were the 1980s going for Nitto? Great! You should just put the great thing there and not have me say that. Because I can't actually do it right. Great. They pulled out of their original Japanese market to regroup, made $6 million in sales, had $9 million in tire inventory, and only sold to specific markets throughout Asia and the Middle East. It was trying to be the cool kid on Instagram in the US, but nobody was really liking their photos. Now, this is where it actually gets fun to talk about Nitto. In comes a man named Tomo Mizutani. Tomo entered the story in the early 90s and had one goal: to turn the Nitto brand around. Hiroaki Ichiki.
It's like teriyaki.
Tomo met with Teriyaki Ichiki. Tomo met with Hiroaki Ichiki, the owner of a service shop in Yokosuka, Japan. Ichiki told Tomo that he found a massive new trend where people were racing rice stout imports. Leading into California and Japan. Tomo, by the way, headed the US sales department and now sits as the CEO and president of Toyo Tires North America. See, there is a good part to this story. You see, there are two types of companies, the ones that are on top and the underdogs. Nitto was the underdog. Tomo and his team worked day and night to start turning around the Nitto brand. But for Nitto, they knew there was no way they were gonna be able to make any money by doing everything traditionally. They had tried that and it didn't work. So here's the good news. Because they didn't have much to lose, they had a lot of freedom to try anything that they wanted. Tomo himself will go to shops, shows, events, and anything he could find to ask the enthusiasts themselves one simple question: what do you want from a tire company? Mechanics wanted tire size. So Tomo went and made tire sizes that made sense. Enthusiasts wanted tires that fit their need. They didn't care about brand. So Tomo went and made tires for car enthusiasts that they wanted. It's almost as if when you're on the fence of a company that's about to fall out, you listen to the customers that are giving you suggestions on what to make and what they'll buy. Tomo and his team brought together everything that they had found out and were told they only had 3 months to start headway on a major project, otherwise
something was gonna happen. They didn't really know what, but they were out of money, out of time, and really out of a team.
Otherwise,
Tomo and his entire team decided that they were going to go out and they were going to listen to the customers.
No, I already talked about that.
That's the last thing that they had left. Because if they couldn't get this one thing right, they were through.
So Tomo and his team, they locked themselves in a conference room and they started making everything possible to try and get a product that the people wanted. And guess what? It worked.
Keep talking.
Please do not directly copy. Because if you directly copy it and I see it, I'm gonna be pissed.
they gave mechanics the sizes they wanted. They gave enthusiasts the tires that they were looking for. And the specific market they were going after began to take notice and pay attention to Nitto as a brand. Tomo realized that the enthusiasts were gonna be their target. And from then on, it just took off. People started running Nitto, endorsing them, getting into magazines and talking about these tires that were new to the market and were delivering exactly what people were wanting. And slowly, Nitto started to gain some reputation. Tomo and the Nitto team realized they had a direction to go with, and so they took it and they ran with it. So after attending more events, doing more research, and listening to the customers, they realized there was a whole other market that they weren't hitting, the truck market. Nitto, after listening to the enthusiasts, heard that there were a lot of sizes that weren't available that they should make available in the truck market, and wheel companies like AMT Forged Alloys had wheels they wanted to make in bigger sizes, but there weren't any tires on the market in the sizes they needed to fit these new sized wheels that they were looking to make. So partnering up with companies like them, Nitto started offering what the enthusiasts wanted, what wheel manufacturers wanted, and started creating tires that would actually get ran on vehicles. So obviously when you're running huge tires like that, you can run into a lot of issues with balancing. Well, Nitto was looking to improve that. So in the early 2000s, Nitto focused on an advanced manufacturing system that actually took your larger tires, made them easier to balance, so you're not worrying about all of these off-road issues, on-road issues, things like that when you have these huge tires that you're trying to get balanced around your vehicle. In addition to tire sizes, Nitto also heard from the enthusiasts that they wanted an aggressive looking tire, so Nitto did exactly that. Nitto introduced their Dune grapplers, their Terra grapplers, their Trail grapplers, and their Mud grapplers. And all of these tires were hugely successful. And you can't deny that the footprint that the Mud grappler leaves is pretty bad. You just have to get over your mud tire howl on the highway that even your fancy wet sound system can't drown out.
It's great.
In 2016, Nitto introduced their most Nitto tire to hit the market. That's bad. Around the time of SEMA 2016, Nitto introduced their tire that looked aggressive, had good off-road capabilities when needed, worked on-road just fine, had a good tread life, and it immediately became super popular. And now I can't even walk back into the shop without seeing half of our wheel and tire packages wrapped in these Nitto Ridge grapplers. Nitto was founded for enthusiasts. They grew from listening to enthusiasts and what they wanted and what didn't exist in the market yet. Their tires work, their tech works, and the way they run their company, it works. By 2004, Nitto sales climbed to $100 million. From there, the pride for the company and the product just continued to grow. Nitto went from being an almost bankrupt, non-existent company to being at the top of the tire industry and one of those brands that a lot of enthusiasts will just go to time and time again because they know the name, they know the quality, they know the looks, and they know the tech that goes into them. Nitto is supplied by 6 Toyo plants around the world, and they're sold worldwide. Now, just because Nitto was a Japanese company, Nitto was reborn in the United States, and that's why Nitto's headquarters will stay in the US. That's all I got for you guys. So if you're looking for Nitto tires, make sure to check them out at customoffsets.com. If you're rocking Nittos on your aftermarket wheels on your truck, be sure to add your truck to our gallery at customoffsets.com/ad. That's all I got for you. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment. Peace.